So, test. Gotta see how loud I have to talk.
Hi, hello, welcome.
Smile like that.
It's a regular smile.
It's crystal clear, we've been on a year, just one stray along the way, but having you by my side makes everything okay. We're watching video clips of all types of laughing out loud, we really hate this crowd, and we don't know where to go, hopefully take it slow. Lots of hustler minds will reject the decline, our approach to life and that, well that's just fine. We wanna let others live because it's none of our biz, until you press your chest upon our mess. There's so many minds, hey I'd like to align, see beyond this place, we want a part of this race. We do what we can, you better tap out man, you're about to pass out or get a pick for the cloud. Why is it so hard here, they made it so weird, try to stay woke and humble and joke. It's f***ing hard out here. I made a really ugly face. Okay.
I doubt that's possible.
Hey guys,
Hello.
welcome back. We're still here. We're here and we're surviving.
Probably.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's rough out
It's
here.
a struggle.
We were going, we were like, we're gonna get it together, and then life is just like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I think that's more on us because we're supposed to like roll with the punches. You know, you have to persevere
Right, this is us
through all the
persevering,
things.
so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't had any real major setbacks other than my frickin' meniscus is a little bitch.
Yeah. I feel like everyone's meniscus is probably a little bitch.
I don't know. I'm thinking a lot of people just like power through it. That's
Yeah.
what it's looking like. I'm just
Yeah.
like, how?
Yeah.
I can't do that. It hurt so bad this second time.
Yeah.
When I like strained it again, I was just like, oh my god, and I couldn't even walk. The first time I could walk.
Really, right afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
right.
this time I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it got a deeper tear.
I don't know.
Maybe it was just like tender before. This time you actually tore it.
Yeah.
We don't know because we didn't get it scanned the first time.
Yeah, so we know it's the meniscus this
Yeah.
time. It's a lateral medial, no, it's a medial tear of the lateral something or rather, horn, I don't remember.
Horn.
It was a sort of loaded diagnosis.
It was like a sentence long
Yeah.
to describe what it is. Because it's not like just one tendon that's all like, this tendon has a small tear. Although if it was a
it is,
tendon,
I think.
it would probably say something along the same lines. It would just describe where it's at or something. It would be like a long sentence too.
Well, I think meniscus is like it's a tendon.
Oh, yeah, for
it's
sure.
just in between the two bones.
Yeah.
That make the knee.
Or I guess, what am I thinking of? A ligament?
Ligament.
Yeah.
Same
But
thing, I think.
even-
Tendon, ligament, they're interchangeable.
I don't know.
I think they are.
I should learn about that.
I'm pretty sure they are,
Mm-hmm.
if I recall correctly. It's just different terms. Why would they be named different? I don't know. Ligament, tendon.
You know who knows?
There has to be a difference, right? I wish we need a computer and stuff.
Oh, I put my phone over there because I was like, I'm not going to look anything up.
Oh well. But either way, yeah. So it's a torn meniscus. I have like a medial tear in my meniscus, and
They say it's incurable.
yeah, everyone keeps telling me that. Well, the doctor said that you can't cure it, and then on the line it says you can't. It doesn't heal itself either, or it doesn't heal. They don't ever heal. They don't. There's no cure for them. Surgery would be the only thing where it would like put it back together, but.
Yeah, but that's what they say about my condition, is that it's a lifelong thing too. Like it doesn't, it never goes away. So.
Yeah, so I don't know. Gonna look into stem cells over at Ways to Well. Hey, because they do offer stem cells at the clinic that I'm going to for physical therapy as well. But I don't know.
I don't
Ways
feel
to
as
Well seems a
confident
bit
in
more
them, yeah.
patient friendly or like proactive or supportive. I don't know.
Yeah, all of those things. I don't know. Even though we haven't been there, just like
Yeah, just all the things we hear.
the things we hear from people that go there and the interviews that they've had, it just seems,
Just like two people. But
yeah, it just seems more in tune with people.
maybe. They also know more about peptides, because I did ask my doctor about peptides, and he said he can't speak on that because he doesn't know anything about it.
He didn't know, yeah.
So that's
and the way he
discouraging.
described the stem cells and the other procedure, it was just, I didn't feel very confident.
Well, he said everything was anti-inflammatory. Like he essentially said that they're all the same thing.
Yeah.
Like the actual like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory shot that he recommended, the keratone or something like that. Toradol, but like, yeah, that's the brand name, I believe.
Oh.
And then the actual like ingredient or whatever, or generic name, I think is keratin.
I didn't look into it.
Which I've had before, actually, I realized. That's what they gave me when I dislocated my elbow.
Really?
Yeah, in pill form.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just hydrocodone and Tylenol 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
It's whatever. Yeah. I'm not really big on sedatives.
Yeah.
So it was like, ugh. I didn't use it religiously. Just like I didn't use this the meloxicam that he gave me. Yeah, I didn't use that like religiously either. It was just like a few days here,
Just
a
on
few
those
days
tougher
there.
days,
Yeah.
when you knew that like your leg was probably gonna swell.
Yeah, like I took it for ACL, which was, let's talk about ACL.
We went to weekend one. We went to Friday weekend one to see Blink-182.
Yeah, and that was so much fun.
Yeah, I super enjoyed it.
Super sweet. Super pleasant.
Yeah.
And it was sad. Tom DeLonge cried big time at the end of it because they played a song. I don't remember, what was the last song they played? Do you remember? No. But they on the screens in the back, they played like compilation of like all of their old videos and stuff, like clips, snippets and stuff.
Yeah.
And just them hanging out and being silly and whatnot. And it was funny, while they were playing, Tom was like looking up at it too, playing his guitar. And then the song ended, and then he was just all in tears, just like sobbing. And they all went arm in arm, and they were like bowed to the crowd. And Mark even like made fun of Tom for crying. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't remember it very well.
He like pointed at him. He was like, I don't know what he was saying.
That's perfect though, because he was teasing him the whole time too.
Yeah.
I cried during that. I cried multiple times during that show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because we realized we're getting old.
Yeah,
They're
for
getting
sure.
old, then we're definitely getting old.
Oh yeah. I mean, I felt that completely. It was definitely, everybody in the crowd was our age, if not older. And I think I posted this on my personal TikTok, but I was like, that definitely, I feel like I was healing my inner teenager just by going to that concert. Because I never got to go to concerts. I think I went to one concert when I was younger, and I definitely always wanted to see them. And you had mentioned that they're not always great live, so I felt very, I don't know, lucky, I guess, that
they
it
killed
was
it.
such a good show.
Yeah, they did really well.
It sounded incredible, and their fun little fireworks and stuff. And
oh yeah, they had pyrotechnics and stuff. I was like, whoa, they're going all out. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
Good show. Yeah, I'm glad we did it.
Watching Travis is incredible. Such a good drummer. Just like seeing it.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
That's always a treat for sure. He's a great drummer.
I mean, they curated a great set. It was nostalgic as frick, and I mean, some of those songs, I just remember listening to them on repeat, like in the back of the car and going on trips and stuff. And so it's like, oh, it's right here.
Yeah, it was super
so I
sweet.
enjoyed that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy for me to think about, like, it's just three dudes and like three really silly, dumb dudes, you know. Granted, they have like really good work ethic. I mean, I've heard Tom talk about it, and I've heard Travis talk about it. Mark, I haven't really heard talk about it so much, but like just their dedication to the craft, you know. I'm like, it was kind of part of their gimmick just to be like silly dudes that didn't really know how to play instruments very well, which I think that when they first started, they really didn't. They weren't very good.
Whoa.
But like every musician kind of says that about themselves when they first start off, right? And
But they're
like, still
like
putting out
so
records
talented.
and stuff. I think it's just the commitment that they made to the craft. You know, they were consistent and persistent.
Yeah.
I know Travis has talked about like going to a I can't remember what show it was he was at, but he was just like, there in the crowd, and it was like one of his first punk shows that he had been to, and he's just like, I'm gonna do that. Like, I want to do that. That's what I'm gonna do. And, you know, he was just like a kind of a because I don't want to curse, or like a brush off, you know, like he just like didn't care about anything really, and went to a show, and he's just like, that's what I want to do, and he did it. He like just went all in, you know. And but granted, that's like one success story, right, out of like who knows how many people have felt that inspiration and like tried to pursue it, and then they're just not successful for whatever reasons. Like, he was in they were like in the LA scene, I guess, right? So that was like a good time for it, good place, you know. That's where a lot of bands came from, and so they could like network, and they were all playing in each other's bands, and you know.
Well, that's where everyone went, I guess. It was like you either went to New York or you went to LA.
Yeah, it was New York or LA.
Those were the scenes. That's where everything's happening. Yes, Austin's a bit of that now. Like, it's starting to become one of those type of places where you can go create something. Lots of famous people come out of Texas.
Well, yeah, I was going to say Texas is kind of a big place for that, where a lot of artists come out of Texas. You know, artists and bands, but you know, it's different cities throughout Texas too, though. It's not like all centralized.
Yeah.
Whereas like California, I think it's going to be mostly LA, right? Maybe San Diego. I don't know. Is that
I don't know anything about that place. Yeah.
New York, it's probably just like New York, you know, the hub, New York. But I don't know. Yeah, it's just super inspiring, you know, just to see all that. We just finished watching a documentary, Daniel Johnston and the Devil. That it was a rewatch for me, and she had never seen it before.
Never seen it.
And watching it now, y'all, it's so crazy realizing that they took this mentally ill person, albeit very creative and
super talented, seems like.
Yeah, and artistically endowed as well. But he was like not well, and like pushed, I think, in some exploitive ways, you know, maybe taken advantage of. I don't know. It's because like,
I think in particular by his manager.
Yeah.
One of his first managers, I think, completely took advantage of the situation and really pushed to get him out there.
Yeah.
And like he did, he really put him out there.
Yeah, and I think, but given his like upbringing, you know, he really didn't want to do anything else. Also, there's that. That's a huge factor to like, you know, consider, is that he was constantly doing art, couldn't really work very well. Like he just wanted to be creative, you know, and that's all he would do. And then he had like several mental breakdowns, and he couldn't take care of himself, and
it was violent.
But he's out there, you know, just like singing songs for people. Like, I don't know. I don't think he ever gained like such popularity and fame to where his art and music was really getting him by. His parents were wealthy.
Yeah. Parents took care of him.
So I think they were able to really help out, you know, and then they ended up having to take care of him too.
For their whole life.
Later on in life, after one of his, like after his third or fourth mental breakdown or something like that.
Who knows how many it actually was,
Yeah.
But another stint in the mental hospital.
And essentially, the rest of his life, they had to take care of, the rest of their lives, they had to take care of him too. And then they did express some frustration about that too.
Yeah, that was wild to see.
How like the day-to-day is just difficult with him, you know, but.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It's just, it's interesting to me, slightly frustrating to know that like someone like that can be so successful, who's like not with it all. And they even talked about it in the documentary too. I don't remember who it was they were interviewing, but they talked about how people in Austin who were folk singer-songwriters knew how to play guitar well, could sing really well, and then this guy Daniel Johnston comes through and just like takes the scene, you know, as his own or whatever, and they're just like upset by it. They're just like, this guy doesn't even know how to play well, and he's like gaining all this notoriety. Like, what the heck? Yeah,
I don't remember what publication it was where he got an award for best folk artist or something like that.
Yeah, right.
And that people were upset about that, which rightfully so. I mean,
when there's like people who were just as dedicated, the dedication is not questionable. That's one thing I will give Daniel Johnston for sure, is the dedication and the passion, the motivation. And he was very driven, you know, and sometimes that's all that it takes. But at the same time, it's just like, wow, like, I think because he was mentally unstable and ill, that also like helped him become successful, right?
I guess so. I mean, what did I say? He lost his mind to achieve his dream. It just seems I mean, I think that would have happened anyway.
Yeah, he was already on his way to like
Yeah.
being that way anyways, you know. It was just whatever factors that caused him to be that way, you know. It could have been like his upbringing, his lack of motivation just for like doing the normal thing. Who knows? I mean, he didn't seem like he was a very normal kid to begin with once he started becoming like a teenager.
Yeah.
Right? That's when they said he started to lose confidence in himself and
There was a change.
yeah.
And it was different. He went from being like focused and academically fantastic, I guess, and then it just shifted.
Yeah. And I wonder how much of that was catered to by his parents as well. I mean, it seems like they were kind of hard on him, his parents, like telling him like get a job and stop messing around with all this stuff. And
Yeah.
you're making the devil's music and so, you know, because they were fundamentalists. They were members of the Christ of Church, which I believe are the Protestants, but
Yeah. Church of Christ.
Church of Christ. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what sort of like practices or beliefs distinguish them from like, I don't know, let's say like the Southern Baptist or the First Baptist and, you know, other churches like that.
I don't know anything about that.
But
It was pretty wild that
yeah,
they were calling it the devil's music, or his mother was calling it the devil's music,
Yeah.
and then in the end he was like, I'm fighting the devil.
so then yeah, he starts to actually believe that he's fighting
Yeah.
the devil. He believes that he's possessed by the devil and that, you know, he's trying to like, that's where all of his work came from essentially. From there on out was like him battling really his mental issues, his demons, quote unquote, metaphorically speaking, right? I mean, some people will believe that he was actually fighting demons or whatever, and that's fine, but it was just his mental health, really. it was wild, you know, but I mean, all in all, I guess it's good for him the way that things worked out, you know, because
Yeah.
it seems like he had somewhat of a stable life and had tons of success, obviously.
Yeah, in the end it seemed like he was happy and content, and I guess that's the most that you can do for
Yeah.
someone in that situation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because
I have
I
so many thoughts, I guess.
yeah, because I had mentioned too, it was better for him to like be successful and famous and also have those mental health issues opposed to like just having those mental health issues.
Yeah, not
You know?
getting a fulfilling life, I
Yeah.
guess. But he was absolutely exploited and abused. And
A little bit, it seems that way, you know. I don't know. Yeah, but I think you can also argue like, no, but they were helping him because he wouldn't have been able to achieve those things without those people like pushing him or like, you know, getting him those business deals and all kinds of stuff, or
guess so.
however that industry works. I don't know. Super interesting stuff though. Next we have coming up Tupac Shakur and what was the other one? Do you remember? Because we rented these from the library.
Oh, no, I don't remember. I don't remember the other one.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, so we're gonna watch a Tupac Shakur
Learn more about
documentary
artists.
coming up next. Yeah, that one's really interesting because I know that he was a very flamboyant young man, very artsy, you know, thespian-esque, into dance and theater and things like that, and then he turned like gangster once he became like the rapper or whatever. And you know, there's a whole conspiracy about that, especially when it comes to gangster rap, that they were forged by the CIA, essentially.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I don't know about
to
that.
keep black people down, but like to portray them as nothing but like hoodlums and gangsters, you know. But like these people obviously were still able to get rich, but originally they weren't like from the hood in the way that they were portrayed to be. They were like Dr. Dre, I believe, was also like just an artsy kind of nerdy kid. He had like some sort of disco group before he became Dr. Dre.
Whoa.
There's pictures of him in like this really flashy, like sequence purple outfit and stuff in his like group or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I know Tupac was a very flamboyant young man too, you know, like really into dance and stuff. And the rest of them I don't really know too much about, but those two I can say for sure.
Wow, I didn't know anything about those.
Yeah, and so there's like this whole conspiracy that like gangster rap was created by the CIA to like make black people look bad, whereas rap before gangster rap hit the scene was like very happy and positive and actually, you know, progressive in a lot of ways. Yeah, but I don't know. Who knows?
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I doubt they're gonna go into that with this documentary. It'll probably be like whatever the consensus is on his career and experience. The common narrative, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I don't know who made it, so what kind of story are they going to tell?
Yeah, right. Pretty sure it's like the normal one. But I don't know, other than that, like we've just been so busy and then like too tired to do anything else other than like kind of take some time and relax.
Yeah, that's been a huge thing that I've been doing. I'm just going to lay down.
Yeah. The jobs that we have right now, well, I mean, your job in particularly has been really draining you because it's been a lot of work and like nonstop too.
Yeah.
Just constant, like no days off sort of thing.
Busy season.
Yeah.
And we have festivals and we have events and...
Yeah, so that's really rough to like have any energy outside of that to do anything else. Yeah. And then for me, I mean, all I can say is that I'm just waiting for my 5-year period to be up and hopefully my student loans are forgiven and then I'll be out of that place and finding something else to do that's
just
more
like
fulfilling.
Mind and soul draining. You just really have a sense of like, I feel like I'm wasting away here.
A little bit, yeah. I do want to try to practice more gratitude though. Just because like there are a lot of times where we're not working and we're just getting paid to like kind of just sit there.
Yeah. Or to watch videos or to like further your education in that career or just like modules of like training.
Yeah, and some of them are hilarious too. But I mean, at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what else I would be doing, honestly. But while I'm there, I mean, I just feel dead inside, you know, and that sucks. It's like it's a really ugly place to be in. And when I have that, I do things that I'm not proud of. Like I'll seek immediate rewards from like food or just numbing out when I come home and like watching like a silly movie or something, you know, that's like contributing nothing to my well-being other than just like entertaining me.
Yeah.
And I'll eat food that isn't the best for me, you know. Granted, I am usually pretty good about like going and working that off too, but I mean, I know I'd be far better off if I like didn't have to work it off because I would still be working out.
Yeah.
But
and it would be way better for your body, you know?
Yeah, I could like I would be able to rebuild, you know, any sort of depletions I have in my body a little bit better if I ate consistently better. But
I just don't know why I have to work 60 hours. Like, there's no need for that.
that is so crazy, I know. And I don't know how they expect that of people, especially someone with children, you know.
It's just the industry is so silly. Like, I don't get why that's a thing. And
it's so grueling.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always looking through job postings, just even if I have a job and I'm not looking to get into something else, I just like looking through them and seeing what's expected of people. And
it's like, what else is there? What else is going on out there?
And just to see that it's just so common. They're like, expect 50 plus hours. Like, that's insane. Yeah,
it's pretty wild. And like, I like that the younger generation is starting to realize that too, you know? 'Cause there's one video that I can think of where this girl is just like completely bawling. She's just drowning in tears, and she's just like, I just graduated, I got my 9 to 5, and like I literally have no time for anything else. Like I wake up, I get ready for work, I spend an hour commute to get to work, and then I work 9 to 5, and then I get home another hour to get back home, and by then I'm tired, I can't even make myself dinner, and I go to sleep for 8-9 hours and wake up just to do it all over again, and I have no time for anything else. And then on the weekends I'm too tired for anything. Like, this isn't the way to live. She's just like losing her mind.
Yeah. If I were to see that, I would cry with her.
Yeah, I remember realizing that too when I started working full time. I was just like, "Whoa, that's crazy! Like, you literally you're working all the time, and then you're actually tired, like to do anything else afterwards. Like, what is this? That's crazy. Like, how has this ever been okay?" But
this is no way to live. It is terrible. Oh, I saw on Reddit somebody from I don't remember where, but they're like, "This is what y'all do in America." Like this.
Yeah.
You get 0 days off, and then when you do get PTO, it's like no time.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
And I even think it's funny how like a lot of these health and wellness clinics here in America, especially, you know, they'll still grind. Like
Yeah.
they're still working like 60 hours a week too. And it's like, what? Like, and that's all the work is going to. And it's a business at the end of the day, and they're trying to generate revenue and profit, even though they're promoting like health and wellness and spirituality and things like that. They're still just grinding. It's like nonstop. And I'm like, none of this makes sense to me. I don't understand.
Make it make sense. This is not okay. It's too hard. And like, we have to hustle. We have to figure out a way to achieve your dreams.
And we're always just like working for somebody else. And then they, you know, the idea is to like work for yourself, right? But to get to that point, it's a lot of work, and you need a lot of time. And you like, people don't sleep. They don't rest. That's I think one thing that not a lot of people talk about is like, you don't get rest, and you're not like well.
And that's a killer. Like, lack of sleep is so bad for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the general narrative is these days, right? It's like you're literally taking years off of your life if you're not getting adequate sleep and rest.
Yeah, guess what? You can't catch up on that.
And and you can't make up for it either. Like, once it's gone, it's gone. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it seems
Like an endless cycle of suck.
counterintuitive. Yeah, it seems counterproductive for your like overall well-being. And I guess to like live in the city or near the city, you know, you just you have to make that ends meet, and if you don't, then you're stressing another. If you're not stressing in one area, you're stressing in another area, you know, and it's just like a constant battle. And you're supposed to just like zen out somehow and like not let it affect you, when it literally, like, I don't know, especially when you throw kids into the mix, because I had it really easy going, you know, before kids, and I'm realizing that now.
Yeah.
You know, because now it's just like, well, you have to be there for them. You have to guide them constantly. And if you're not, like, you're not going to like the results of it, you know, and you're going to be like, what the heck? How did you think that this was an okay thing to do or whatever? And then you realize, like, oh, they haven't had guidance. They don't know better, you know. You literally have to be there 24/7, guiding them and showing them the way, because they're not going to get it. And then they're going to end up being, I think a lot of people are realizing too, now that the younger generations, they're considering them like feral children, because the parents aren't home, because they're working, because we're all working. They can't be there with the kids.
There's no love. There's no like compassion. Everyone's on their devices, even like parents. It's just, I mean, I know not all of them, but a lot of people are just existing in the same house, and everyone's on their own devices, and like, there's no coming together. There's no understanding of what everyone's going through. Like, these kids are having a rough time at school.
Yeah, the misbehavior at school is like through the roof compared to what I was used to. But I think it was like that in a lot of other cities too beforehand. It's just now like spreading out.
It's becoming way more common.
I think so.
It's scary.
And it's just wild, and then like, even going back to ACL, like seeing how people are behaving at these festivals now. Like, I'm on Reddit a little bit, and geez, the stories that you read are insane. Someone literally knocked someone's drink out of their hand because they told the other people to relax, because they were trying to get through the crowd, like move really rude and aggressively, right? And then this person with the drink in their hand was just like, hey, relax. And then this other person just, boom, knocked the drink out of their hand apparently, and told them to, you know, F off.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did you not smack them right then and there? Like, are we just allowing this behavior? Another story I read was, there were people trying to leave because they, for whatever reason, there was too much crowd crush. They were panicking. They needed to get out, use the bathroom. Whatever, I don't remember. Oh, they needed to go to the bathroom. That's right. They couldn't hold it anymore. And they're like, I gotta go, get out. And there was a chain of people linked arm in arm that said, no, you have to go around us. This is our spot. We've been here for 5 hours already. Go around. And they were just like, literally, like, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, I'm just gonna go right here if you don't move out of the way. I gotta go. And they were just like, no, we absolutely refused. So luckily, unfortunately though, at the same time, another friend of theirs was just like, and went and shoved them so hard that they broke the chain, and they got through. Yeah, I'm just like, well, how are people
Why
so
wouldn't you
rude?
just like open and close? Like,
Yeah, I don't understand, like, I understand their motivations, but I just can't understand like how they don't consider
It's like,
there's no compassion, like you were saying.
no
There's,
compassion.
There's no like empathy, no sympathy. They're just, everyone's like so selfish now.
But everyone online is like talking about how you need to care, and well, I guess that's just in like my feed, my curated feed, I guess. My algorithm is like, oh, caring and love and compassion and be there for each other, or like with these disasters, like they don't care about each other's political affiliations. They're just helping each other out because they have no other option.
A lot of the times, yes, and thankfully that humans can still come together
during
with,
that.
for things like that, especially with all the things that are happening right now, all the hurricanes. People can still come together despite politics and religion and all that kind of stuff, which is great. You know, that's humanism. That's what like I would advocate for, if anything, because like I'm not religious and I'm practically apolitical at the same time. But I'm a human. I would consider myself a humanist too, which means humans first. Like, who cares about what your beliefs are? Like, let's just help each other out. Jeez, you know. But you know,
Same story, different day.
yeah. I mean, all the focus is on what divides us.
Yeah.
And understandably so, because it's entertaining. You know, and it's more intriguing.
Yeah, and also I enjoy a battle. I enjoy the drama.
Yeah.
I talk mad crap all the time. I'm so judgmental. So I'm just a big oxymoron hypocrite.
Yeah, and I think I get upset all the time at like, you know, like how people are so inconsiderate. That's what gets me upset. Like on the road and things like that. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, what are you...
Oh, it's been interesting. A lot of people are talking about how terrible people are on the roads these days.
Yeah.
I feel like people used to drive more with intention.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
I think people are escaping on the roads. Like they don't want to go home and they're driving around with no direction and no initiative to get somewhere. Used to be like
they're just like cruising, maybe. Oh, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's another thing. Like it is frustrating that it takes like 10 minutes just to get a mile down the road.
Yeah.
You know, because of
I enjoyed cruising.
the amount of traffic. I do too.
Like driving around
when I don't have anywhere to be.
Yeah, but I don't get in people's way.
Yeah, exactly.
I pay attention so much to like every car on the road.
That's a big one. It's like being in the way, getting out of people's way when I'm walking at the store or I'm driving on the road. And if I'm like taking my sweet time, I am getting out of people's way.
Yeah.
And like oftentimes I find like people don't really consider that. They're just like kind of like whatever, you know, in their own little world. And understandably so, sure, they're zoning out probably because, you know, life is rough out here.
Yeah, it's terrible. I get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
super understanding.
But at the same time, I'm still like, yo, but like, you know, come on, like, be considerate.
Let's work together.
Like when there's emergency vehicles, there was one right now driving back from the game.
Yeah?
Yeah, there was an ambulance on the freeway, and I saw them behind me, and luckily there were people behind me also pulling over and letting them pass, and we did it, and there was a huge gap created, and they got past all of us, but then boom, they hit the back end of like the traffic ahead of us, and like no one was moving. Everyone just kept going. And I was just like, y'all are supposed to stop, move out of the way so they can pass. Like, I don't know. I guess we forgot that, or like people aren't taking driver's ed anymore, or I don't know what the heck.
I think a lot of people are skipping like getting their license or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because it has been wild to see how often that happens.
Yeah.
Like we see it all the time.
Like
people don't get out of the way. They're just, and it's like, oh, it's a red light. I can't move. Go through.
Yeah, you're supposed to like
turn
creep
right.
forward.
You have no choice. Like figure out another route. You can just go to the right. Everyone go to the right and get out of the way so that these vehicles can help somebody else. They don't. They just sit there. It is wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know, but I mean, the world's always been a chaotic place, right? We just had like nice little pocket of like pleasantry for like several decades there, and now it's kind of catching up with us too, I think.
Is it because we're older and now we pay attention to things like that? And we're
for
like,
sure.
We're ornery and...
Yeah, because every generation complains about, you know, the current situation and the upcoming generation, things like that.
We're just creatures of habit. We're just following along with the other generations.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It seems like it's crazy, and oof. I mean, there's definitely been some uptick of things like crime, and I think generally speaking, crime has gone down, but like in the more short proximal sense, like I'm surprised how many break-ins occur at the trailheads here in Austin.
Yeah.
People are always breaking into cars.
Yeah.
Like, it is crazy that again, on Reddit, like, I read people say things like, oh, I haven't gone to the trails for years now because this started happening so frequently, you know? It's just like, what is happening, you know? It's scary. And what's another thing? I mean, just the uptick of break-ins that I've noticed. I mean, we've had people come into our yard before, you know, all nonchalantly.
Yeah, that's wild.
Someone apparently, even though we have locks and signs everywhere posted on our fence and things like that, someone came into the yard because there was 2 of our trash bins were turned over in a very particular manner, which would indicate someone used them to climb back over the fence. And then one of the fence posts was broken at the top, indicating someone climbed over there and like stepped on it wrong or whatever, and it just snapped.
Yeah.
And all locks were on the gates, you know, nothing had been broken into. No one broke into the apartments, thankfully. But yeah, like someone was in the yard. And then, so beautiful. My landlord has cameras set up in the front, but apparently those cameras aren't activated. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. That was awesome to find out.
They said it was a long story whenever I asked them about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I just don't think they could explain it to us.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. I'm just like, why do you even have those out there then? I mean, it was crazy, you know, just like, okay. So we just have to get our own like camera system, I guess, you know,
so
which we
have
do
another
have.
one coming on the way.
Yeah, we do have for certain sections of the unit, but not the front, because I thought those were up, you know, and we were fine there. But
Well,
apparently
because
not.
it was like recently. Well,
I thought
maybe
so,
within
too.
the last 6 months or so.
Now I'm wondering if they just straight up lied to us.
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another kind of crummy thing. I just wish people were like more honest too, and people were more accountable.
But what's the point? I get it. You're all just trying to survive. We're trying to survive, and it's me first.
Yeah, and like people are scared about lawsuits and things like that too, which I totally get. But I've also, I don't know, I was always raised to take accountability for my behaviors, take responsibility, you know, for my actions. And you know, like growing up skateboarding, we would be skateboarding on private property and we'd get run off all the time. And a lot of the times the excuse they would give us was like, we don't want your parents to sue us or whatever. And we're like, they're not going to sue you. Like they know we're out here being dumb.
Oh, I get it.
You know?
I never realized that.
Yeah,
That
but
makes
I mean,
sense, though.
we were never the types to do that. We
Yeah,
weren't gonna
y'all
sue
weren't, but
anybody.
there's definitely some
And that's
parents
the
out
thing.
there
There
that
are
like
some
that.
entitled folks out there that will take that leap and just be that unbelievably unreasonable and be like, oh, my son or daughter was skateboarding on this stairwell and they broke their arm because they were being dumb, and now we're gonna sue you because you didn't take care of the situation, whatever. Like, no, your son or daughter is totally accountable for that. Like, what is?
Nope. Lawsuit.
But of course, like, you know, the judicial system, you can like reason your way through almost nearly anything and everything. And it also depends on which judge you get to and how they're feeling that day. Whether or not they've had lunch or not is also a factor that, you know, determines their decisions, which was a big study that came out recently. Like, just all sorts of crazy stuff, you know. Human beings are flawed. We are terrible creatures. I'm sorry. There's lots of great things about us, sure.
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful place that we live in, but god dang. We sure know how to just
Mess
it up. Yeah. And like, understandably so, we're animals. I mean, look at the wild, you know, wild life out there that.
We're behaving the way we're supposed to.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
But it's
Like,
frustrating.
It's natural, yeah. It's frustrating because we have reason and like logic that we can apply, and yet we do in a lot of ways. I mean, that's what society is all about. That's what civilization's for. But yet we still act like freaking animals.
Yeah. We're silly. This is a silly
gosh.
place. But hope you're doing well. Hope you're reaching your
I know.
goals.
We're always so
and,
negative.
Yeah. Do what you can.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I want to be positive. I do.
I think we are in a lot of ways.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the day to day, like, I mean, I'm always telling you, I'm just like, yeah, we just have to deal with it. I'm always telling you, like, we just got to do it. I'm sorry. I know it sucks. I know we just have to though.
I know.
Like, there's nothing else we can do.
Yeah,
But
because I say the same thing to you all the time.
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
yeah. And then when we come on here, we're just like, oh my God, this is horrible.
Or when we talk to people, we're like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. You're doing great things. Like, oh, this is so lovely.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean,
But
because
we mean
see,
that.
Yeah, exactly.
We
We
are
see.
so excited that that's happening for people.
We like to give credit where credit is due also, you know. At the same time, we're just like, how do you do it? Because we feel like we're not doing it. Maybe we are doing it, we just don't see it.
I
I don't know.
We're just really hard on ourselves.
We're hard on ourselves.
I feel like, I mean, I have to give myself credit. I think you've told me this like many times. Like,
Yeah.
look at how far you've made it. Look at what's
That's
happening.
true.
And yeah, I'm very grateful for the life that I'm living,
Yeah.
and I'm very happy. I think I mentioned this on my Instagram recently that
Yeah.
this is the happiest that I think I've ever been, besides like being a child.
But also
Yeah, but the most panic attacks I've ever had.
the most panic attacks you've ever had, which is so strange. It just finally all caught up with you or something. I don't know.
Or that like I'm so happy, and then it's very frustrating to like feel that I may lose it, and so it creates a panic.
So we have security cameras set up in the apartments inside now too, and with sound activation and motion detection and all that sort of stuff. It's hilarious because she wakes up in panic sometimes and has no recollection of it, but you just hear her on the camera just like, oh, like, you know, it sounds like she's being possessed or something, or like there's a ghost in the house, and it's hilarious. It's creepy too when you watch it. You're just like, oh, that's.
When I heard it for the first time, I was genuinely scared. Like,
Yeah,
I was like,
it's funny.
what? I did that? And it's rough.
But and I knew about it because I sleep next to her, and like I would be waking up by it sometimes, you know. I'm just like, oh my god, what's going on? And then I realized like, oh, she's like just, I don't know, dreaming about something or
Having
whatever.
a nightmare or something?
Yeah.
I mean, I hardly remember my
and you go
dreams.
right back to sleep,
Yeah.
like as if nothing, and you'll mutter like noises. You'll just be like, or something, you know, and go back to sleep. And I'm just like,
Probably a
oh,
problem
okay. But yeah, it's. I forgot why do we start talking about that?
Panic
Oh, because of
attacks.
anxiety. Yeah. So it's just like all catching up with you, I guess.
And generally, I'm a very happy person. I've always just like default to happy, and I'm like
Yeah.
always in a good mood. I remember being at one of the restaurants. They're like, "You're just like this?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah."
Yeah, that is you for sure. Yeah, and I'm the complete opposite, really.
Yeah.
Like in public, like I'll be like kind of like like neutral, I guess, you know. And then when people interact with me, they're just like, oh, you're very nice and you know,
Yeah.
pleasant, and
Yeah.
like yeah. But the like my internal dialogue, I'm always just like, oh god, I'm just like miserable
So
and
mad.
like sad and
So
mad
disappointed.
and yeah, disappointment is huge with me. I'm just
Yeah.
like disappointed in life. I'm disappointed in people. I'm disappointed in myself. Like.
Yeah.
And like I know like I'm doing okay, but like that's not even good enough for me. I'm not. I don't feel like successful. I don't feel like I've made it or anything like that.
We're too hard on ourselves.
Probably, but
Yeah, because
like
other people would be like, "Wow, look at what you have," and
yeah.
you should be
But,
so
but at the same time,
grateful.
I just feel like this is so basic too. Like I feel like I don't have a lot.
We're not satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is basic. This is. I mean, we're under. What are the classes? This is still low.
Oh yeah, we're definitely lower class.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. But even like that's one thing to take note of too. I think comparatively, like maybe nationally, but like worldly, you know, the lower class in America is still like a lot better than it is in like other countries,
Yeah.
apparently. Right? But dang.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess just because like of all the content that we see out there, the success stories that we hear and follow, you know, it's just like, well, we want that.
Yeah. We can't compare ourselves though. That's what tons of people say is that you can't compare yourself because it's like the thief of joy or something.
Yeah, comparison is the thief of joy.
You got to
But-
be content with the things that you're doing. And really, all we want to do is like be artistic, be creative, not have to deal with this
Well, that's
structure.
the thing. Yeah, I just want to be able to enjoy life. I want to be able to enjoy people, but like I cannot for some reason. Like I can at certain times, sure, but yeah, like on the reg, I don't think.
We can with like certain things.
Yeah.
We allow it.
Right, and that's the thing. Someone quoted recently this like punk rock MMA fighter that I follow on Instagram. Was in a band called Knuckleheads or whatever. Shared a meme. They make memes now. You know, they'll post things like with 10 slides at a time, and one of their memes said, "The happiest people don't have the best things in life. They make the best out of life."
Aww. I think we do that.
Yeah. Well, you do that. I definitely don't. I've noticed that in you. I don't.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with that. I really do. try to make the best out of
Yeah.
it, you know? Because I want to be doing something fun. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not having fun at work. Like, it's so corporate and fake and like just
It
bogus
is.
to
It's
me.
pretty
I
bad.
hate it.
It's rough.
Like, with a passion. And like 15-year-old me would be very disappointed and be like, what are you doing, dude? You know? But now with these student loans, like, I'm like, you know, I always try to think rationally and logically, and I'm like, well, okay, 5 more years, and
You've already done that much time.
hopefully, yeah, I can be out of student loan debt, and then we're good to go, and maybe I can start pursuing something. But even then, that's a huge risk because it's like, well, the security, the financial security. Oh my
Yeah.
God, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
But we'll address that when it comes, I guess.
But we're thinking, we're doing, we're
Yeah.
trying things.
Yeah. So here's
I'm
to
gonna
trying.
make a freaking change.
We're gonna make a freaking change.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We got to go because we have a child knocking at the door.
Yeah.
So,
And I gotta go to work.
and I got to go to work. See you later.
Bye.